What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE's record low ratings, Jim Ross destroys John Laurinaitis, Umaga's son training to become a wrestler, Asuka turning evil, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and our new wrestling channel Wrestlelamia Shorts. And now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at the recent Raw record low ratings. Atop of today's news, the 5th December Raw scored the lowest rating ever in its third hour, which is bound to have fans and pundits speculating on the cause. First, let's take a look at Raw's ratings for the 5th December episode, as WrestleNomics' Brandon Thurston tweeted at the figures, pointing out WWE Raw last night on USA Network 1.536 million viewers. The 18 to 49 rating was 0.41, number 6 cable original in 18 to 49. A Wrestling News' Andrew Ravens commented on the rating, saying, according to Showbuzz Daily, the episode drew an average of 1.536 million viewers on the USA Network, down from the 1.668 million viewers last week. Ravens also discussed the ratings for Monday Night Football, a ratings juggernaut which has always been problematic for Raw as it tends to eat into the Red Brand's ratings. The show went up against Monday Night Football on ESPN and ESPN2. The game averaged 11 million viewers and a 3.0 key demo rating. As noted, Raw ended up coming in 6th place on cable in the 18 to 49 demo, which isn't pitiful, but it's a cause for concern if it continues. The Red Brand has traditionally struggled with its third hour ratings, with the show often decreasing every hour. Some observers feel that this is a sign that 3 hours of wrestling is too much, while others believe it's just a question of booking things better to keep fans tuned in throughout the show. 1 week's ratings are not a good gauge of a show's overall performance, but the third hour problem needs to be addressed as Raw continues to struggle to keep its audience for its final hour. What do you guys think might be the problem with the third hour of Raw? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE hosting a live event in India in 2023. As more details are emerging on the WWE show in India, you'll likely recall previous rumors that WWE was returning to India for a live event, and now PW Insider's Mike Johnson is reporting that the event is scheduled for 18th January 2023. PWInsider.com can now confirm the event will be held in Hyderabad, India at the Gachibowli Indoor Stadium, a 5,000-seat venue that opened back in 2002. The event will mostly feature SmackDown brand talents. WWE has not yet announced the show officially. That doesn't mean the WWE isn't holding the event, as it's not unusual for word of a show to leak before it takes place. India is just one of several international markets the WWE is working to grow. You may recall pre-pandemic talk of the WWE starting an NXT brand in India. While nothing materialized due to the COVID-19 outbreak, there's no denying India could be a lucrative market for the WWE if it can cultivate an audience. Next up, Ronda Rousey fires back. Ronda Rousey is firing back at critics who called her out for what they felt was a poor performance by her during the SmackDown Women's Championship defense against Shotzi. Rowdy Ronda had this to say on her YouTube gaming stream, including explaining what happened when she DDT'd Shotzi on the mat apron.
It's the first time I ever did it. I was really concerned with keeping Shotzi safe, and I made it look bad. And you know what? Sorry, okay? Fucking shoot me. Apparently I deserve to be fired or burned. It reminds me of Monty Python the Holy Grail, and they're like, burn her!
Rousey may have felt that the criticism was unwarranted, especially in light of past injuries to male superstars.
There weren't calls to fire anybody when, like, Madcap Moss and Big E were spiked on their heads, and they're like, burn her anyway! Like, I'm so sorry that I was so concerned with keeping someone safe that I made the bump look bad.
According to Rousey, she and Shotzi didn't get to practice a spot because a War Games cage was set up. She also mentioned that the WWE cut her and Shotzi's match short due to AJ Styles and Finn Balor going long. The Blue Brand's current women's champion bemoaned the match ending prematurely, arguing that she came back to put younger talent over and that she couldn't do so with an abbreviated match. Next up, the reason for Matt Riddle's stretcher job. Solo Sikoa did a real number on Matt Riddle after Riddle and Kevin Owens lost to the Usos, with Sikoa beating the Ultimate Bros so bad that Riddle was stretchered out of the arena. While the attack made Solo look like even more of a beast, there's another reason for the beatdown. According to the Wrestling Observer Live's Brian Alvarez, it looks like Riddle is out. I don't know if it's a legitimate injury and they're writing him off. He wrestled a match, so it must not be that bad. I don't know what's happening, but Riddle appears to be gone for the time being. While there's no word on what the circumstances are or when Riddle will return, we will continue following the story. Next up, Jim Ross destroys John Laurinaitis. A former WWE Vice President of Talent Relations, John Laurinaitis, is under fire from another former WWE Vice President of Talent Relations, Jim Ross. During an episode of his podcast, Grillin' JR commented on Laurinaitis' time in the WWE when Ross was still working there, as well as the former Johnny Ace's fall from grace following his release earlier this year in the wake of Mr. McMahon's hush money scandal, a scandal in which John's name came up. I had a hard time as I went on trusting Laurinaitis. That's sad to say. I hired him, I gave him the job when he needed it. I don't think he treated me quite right. He just wanted to show Vince that he was better manager than JR and all these things. So now his ass is without a job and he deserves the goddamn misery that he's living, that I perceive that he's living, and I didn't like how he treated me. The WWE Hall of Famer also lambasted Laurinaitis' dealings with Vince McMahon. He went out of his way to make sure he stayed in front of Vince all the time. There's not a day that went by I didn't talk to Vince by phone, text, or meetings, but I went out of my way to say, "Hey Vince, guess what I did today? You'd be so proud of me." Well, first of all, Vince ain't proud of shit. He's not a big knock. It's just the way he is, and Laurinaitis played that up. Ross even went so far as to say how McMahon viewed Laurinaitis. I don't know that Vince ever really trusted Laurinaitis. We've kind of seen how that relationship worked out and evolved. What do you guys think of Jim Ross's comments? Next up, the New Day moving to NXT. Our surprise appearance by the New Day on the 6th December NXT has fans asking whether Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are jumping to the white and gold brand. The New Day showed up on NXT, interrupting NXT Tag Team Champions Pretty Deadly and challenging them to a match at this Saturday's NXT Deadline PLE. If the New Day capture the NXT Tag Championships, a title a faction that has never held, one would think they'd stay there. A New Day title win will put Kofi in the history books, as Ringside News pointed out that if both of them are successful in dethroning the champions, Kofi will make history by breaking the all-time record for most tag team title wins, making him a 15-time tag team champion. But two questions come to mind about the New Day run on NXT. Number one, does NXT need the New Day on their brand? And number two, have they run out of ideas for the New Day on the main roster? Next up, NXT returning to the road for PLEs. It's good news for NXT fans looking to attend premium live events somewhere besides the WWE Capital Wrestling Center. WrestleVotes reports hearing some good news out of the PC this afternoon. Source states NXT is returning to the road for their future premium live events, starting with Vengeance Day on February 4th from Charlotte, North Carolina. This suggests the WWE feels confident enough about the NXT product that it believes that it can monetize PLEs in larger venues. Next up, Umaga's son training to become a wrestler. Could the dominant faction, the Bloodline, have another member joining the group? While that remains to be seen, we do know that Umaga's son Zilla Fatu is training to become a wrestler. The Reality of Wrestling school tweeted the news along with a picture of Zilla saying, "Welcome the newest member of Reality of Wrestling training school, Zilla Fatu. His father Umaga was part of the Reality of Wrestling and now begins his own journey." Veteran WWE star Shelton Benjamin welcomed Zilla, tweeting, "Congratulations and welcome to the family business. You're gonna crush it, young Oos." The Anoa'i family has become the premier family dynasty in wrestling, producing numerous champions and talent with the potential to become champion. While it's too early to tell how Zilla Fatu will fare, if he's anything like his family members, he should do well. And finally, Asuka turning evil. Is Asuka returning to her roots? Well, Asuka posted some interesting tweets after she came up short in a triple threat match against Bayley and Rhea Ripley on the 5th December Raw. Ringside News commented on the tweet saying she uploaded a few photos of her time in Japan where she was known as Kana. She also included a serious caption of one of her photos. The caption in question stated, "I don't want respect. I never wanted to be respected. I don't care about that. I'm going to listen to the new Metallica song and go to bed." The WWE announcers have been laying the groundwork for a possible change in attitude over the last few weeks. For example, Raw announcers commented about how dominant Asuka was in NXT as well as how she was once the most feared competitor in WWE. Could this mean Asuka is being prepared for a heel turn, or will she just adopt a more aggressive style in the ring? She hasn't slowed down in the ring as she always provides fans with exciting matches. We think Asuka's biggest problem is how the WWE books her. While a heel turn might seem like one way to build her up, she ultimately needs to push to go with whatever makeover she goes through. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.